guys, this is Tina Banks here with the Borough's Best Podcast, and today I have the pleasure of speaking to Jackie, the owner of the Flower Girl Floral Studio.
Hello.
Hey Jackie.
Hello.
Thank you so much for meeting with me today.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Most definitely. So tell us a little bit about yourself and the inspiration behind the Flower Girl.
I opened up my flower shop probably about 12 years ago.
Wow.
And I've been in this location for about 8 years.
Mm-hmm.
And really, I just want to make people smile. That's it.
Flowers do that.
Things. I know,
Yeah.
right? I just make things pretty.
You do. I've seen your work and it's just like, wow. Like, how can you be so creative to create these masterpieces that you create?
Thank you. Man, it really just comes to me. I don't think about it. If I overthink, then it doesn't. I just go with it. It's like tying my shoes.
Mm-hmm.
I just sit with a bucket and just start poking or pulling or doing. It's like a puzzle to me.
Yeah. Until you get it right, right?
Exactly.
So what did you do prior to this floral studio?
I worked in other flower shops, and I worked for 2 other flower shops.
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized I wanted to own my own, then I took a break and I earned money by bartending and waiting tables, and I saved enough money to open up my own shop.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did. It took me about 1.5 years.
Mm-hmm. So where was your first location? Where did you first start your flower business? I
first started at Buckhead,
mm-hmm.
right there across from the big El Sombrero.
Mm-hmm.
And it was me and a baker and a photographer, actually.
All in the same space?
All in the same space. I had this idea, one-stop shop.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a huge space. It's now a karate studio, but it was enormous space.
Wow.
And so I was on half side, and I got a baker to go in the other half,
mm-hmm.
and then I had a photographer upstairs.
And you put all of this together?
Yes.
Wow.
I did. I wanted my brides to come in
mm-hmm.
and be able to just, okay, we've got it all under one roof.
Mm-hmm.
Very, very simple. Brides get really, really stressed and overwhelmed trying to find vendors.
So
and
true.
I'm like, I'm just going to make it easier for them.
Mm-hmm. So then where did you proceed from there?
From there, I was briefly on Savannah Avenue,
mm-hmm.
which used to be the original Colonial House of Flowers.
Okay, yeah.
I was in there with antique kind of market.
Mm-hmm.
They took up half the building. I took up the front half of the building.
Mm-hmm.
And after that, we parted ways. I've been here
ever since.
8 years.
Wow. I bet it doesn't even feel like 8 years, does it?
It doesn't. I have to think about it. I'm like, what? It's a blink.
Yeah. It goes by fast when you're having fun.
It really, really
and
does.
doing what you enjoy doing.
Yes.
So tell us how you conduct your business. Like, how do you do consultations?
Typically, a bride will message me via Facebook, Instagram. They'll call me. I'll set up a meeting, and then we come in here, and I tell them to have lots of Pinterest pictures for me.
Yeah.
And we sit down, and we talk about making the day of their dreams.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually, as they tell me and they show me stuff, I'm on this little handy-dandy laptop,
mm-hmm.
and they get a complete copy of everything that we discuss before they leave this building.
So the same day, huh?
Same day, they will have prices. They will have pretty much everything they need to know to make their decision.
Mm-hmm. And approximately how long does that take?
I average about an hour.
Okay.
I go into very, very big detail about what they want because it's hard to give a proper price without knowing. A lot of brides will call me and say, hey, how much is a bradle bouquet?
Mm-hmm.
Well, what do you want in the bridal
right.
bouquet?
Yeah.
And it kind of goes from there. How big do you want it?
Mm-hmm.
When are you getting married?
Yeah.
That kind of situation.
So it's not like a one-size-fits-all type of deal.
No.
You cater it to each bride's
Yes,
taste.
I do. I even cater it to the size of the bride.
Mm-hmm.
You'll find me here on Fridays at about 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, wow.
It never stops at about 3 a.m. typically. And it's me standing in front of a mirror and holding this bouquet every single angle with me beside it, thinking about the bride and her big day and her dress and the size that she is, and making a custom bouquet towards her.
Wow.
Nothing too big, nothing too small. You just got to get that right size. For her.
Yeah.
And if you get too big, it's going to make them look bigger. And if you get too small, it's going to make them look bigger. So you have to find something that kind of flows and makes the eye draw in to make them look smaller and perfect on their day.
Wow. So tell me, what type of school can you enroll in that will teach you all of this? Like, these are things you don't think about when you say, oh, I'm getting flowers for my wedding day, you know?
There was no school for me. I ended up getting a job just off of a whim. I met this amazing couple that owned Four Seasons flower shop that used to be on Savannah Avenue. And I met them, actually, I'd just moved to town. I was looking for a part-time job. I met them over lunch one day at Longhorn Steakhouse, and they told me what they did, and I'm like, you work with flowers? That would be so fun, so pretty.
Yes.
I'd never even thought in my mind that this is what I was going to end up doing for the rest of my life. And they said, we're looking for somebody part-time, and I was like, huh? And he said, come on in and we'll see what you got. Even if it's just delivering or something, we can put you to work. So I went in and he gave me a handful of flowers and said, put this in a vase. And then I did it. And then he said, okay, so now it's your wedding day. I want you to walk in the cooler and make yourself a wedding bouquet.
Wow.
And I had never done anything like it. I didn't even know anything about
So was this
flowers.
your interview?
That was my interview. And I picked up red roses. To me, I didn't really know anything about flowers. Picked up a bundle of red roses. I made them into a bouquet. He looked at it and said, can you start next week?
Wow.
And I said, yes. And he said, and by the way, we have a big gala. I need about 30 of these. And I'm like, okay, I got you.
Jackie.
So ever since then, and working for him, he taught me the basics and what I need to do. And I got actually my bridal consulting, bridal wedding planner license while I worked there. And then he passed away. And so then I went and worked for Southern Creations that used to be on South College, and she was very traditional, and she had gone to actual school to learn how to do this. And she had a lot of funeral work, and she taught me a lot of amazing things on a different aspect of it. And weddings were what I wanted to do. I'm all about love and being there for the happy moments and that kind of stuff. So, like I said, I decided that's what I wanted to do, and I wanted to focus on love, and went and saved money and opened up my own.
Yep, and now you do it your way.
I do it my way. No schooling.
Yep.
And I look at people all the time on these videos and tutorials on how they do stuff, and I'm like, I might not be doing that right, but it looks pretty and it works.
Hey, there's one way to get to the end goal.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
Yeah, so you said that weddings are your specialty.
Yes.
Right? So you may get calls for other types of arrangements just because and things like that, but you really focus on weddings.
Weddings and events. Those are my big things. Yeah.
What types of events?
Anything.
Okay.
Baby showers, birthday parties, anything that you can throw at me, I'm all about it.
So what do you feel sets your business apart? Is it like who you serve or the way you serve them? What is it that sets you apart from the others in town?
I think focusing on the wedding and events sets me apart, but I understand what the bride wants, and I'm all about pleasing her.
Yeah.
This is a day that you're going to remember for the rest of your life, and I understand the importance of it, and the importance of the fact that when it comes down to it, my bouquet in her in that dress is really going to be the only thing over her mantle. The groom may or may not make that bridal portrait, but it's her and these flowers, and it's something that she's going to look at for the rest of her life.
That's right. Yeah.
So, and a lot of, Pinterest, a lot of them are like, ooh, I hate Pinterest and I hate weddings. And I'm like, no, I love Pinterest because I started at a time when there was no internet. There wasn't Pinterest. They would go through magazines and books and picking out this flower and that flower, but they had no idea of what it's going to look like. And now they have a clear vision of what they want, and they bring me these inspiration pictures, and I just try to combine all their inspiration stuff to make something that they'll remember.
Yep, something unique for them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I have a unique spin on everything. I'm a little less traditional than the rest.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one, Jackie.
Yeah.
So are you working, when you do this work, are you working solo, or do you have a team that supports you?
I'm primarily solo. I normally hire 2 assistants, maybe 3 for my busy seasons. They're normally college girls that really haven't dealt with flowers before, and I teach them the basics, and they're my hands.
Yeah.
When I need stuff, they're handing me stuff when I'm on a ladder. I spend my Saturdays on ladders.
I believe it.
So they're the ones at the base handing me stuff or doing the little stuff, the boutonnieres, the corsages, centerpieces, that kind of thing.
All right. So what's the next big thing for the Flower Girl? I know you're always thinking of something new.
My mind's always going.
Yeah.
So I actually have a dry flower bar in a place called Starland Strange and Bizarre in Savannah.
Really?
Yes. So it's a little division of it. It's just a little flower bar. You can go in there and pick up dried stuff, make your own bouquets. And actually starting this Sunday, I will be at Starland Yard in a vintage camper, like a little portable flower shop, Petal and Petals.
Wow.
I'll have little bouquets to pick up and go, and stems and things like that.
That's neat.
And I'm actually talking with someone else about a flower cart on City Market in Savannah. So I'm always thinking and expanding of ways I can get my name out there and get flowers to the masses.
Yeah. So tell us more about the dried flowers. I mean, do you make them? I mean, do you create them to be dried, or do they come that way? Or
they come that way.
Okay.
Starland Strange and Bizarre approached me back in February. They wanted a flower bar in there. It's an awesome little neat, eclectic boutique type place. They have all these different vendors that come in there with this unique stuff. Very artistic. And they wanted a flower bar in there. Well, in the colder months with no cooler, it's great. But in the warmer months, it's not. So I had to think out of the box. And I'm really big into the pampas grass and the boho stuff and all that. And I see this new trend coming through with that, adding them into bouquets and things like that because they can last. So I tried it out there, and it seems to be going over great with that crowd.
Yeah. Way to go.
Always thinking, always trying
Where
to
there's
improve.
a will, there's a Jackie, figuring it out.
Exactly.
So what advice could you give someone that may be looking to start a flower business or a business of any kind?
Just follow your dream. If you want to, where there's a will, there's a way. And find what you're good at and what makes you happy. Because in the end, that's really just what matters. It's we all have a different niche, I like to say. There's other flower shops in town that love funeral work. There's other ones that love the daily birthday stuff. Find out what you like and just go for it.
Yeah, I agree with you. You have to have that passion for it, or you won't enjoy doing it at all.
Right.
So, our next to the last question, one of my favorites, is what is your favorite business in the borough?
The Painted Chef.
I guess I could have said that one for you. Yes, shout out to the Painted Chef, you guys. If you haven't heard of the Painted Chef, then go Google it, find it on Facebook or Instagram. So, Jackie, tell us, how can we connect with you on social media?
You can find me at The Flower Girl, and Flower Girl is one word, on Facebook, or The Flower Girl at Statesboro on Instagram.
Okay.
Feel free to send me a message.
Yeah. Get in her DMs, or she is located on Main Street.
Right downtown.
All right. So thank you so much for speaking with us
Of
today.
course.
And we will see you guys on the next episode.